Hey, it's Ken and Trudy from A Camping We Will Go. We're at,
Washington State Park near DeSoto, Missouri.
all right, got a nice little campground here. It's in a pretty nice area. We're gonna take you for a trip around the park and the area and see what's going on. All right, this is Highway 104. It comes off of Highway 21 up that way. It's the main road through the park, and it goes on that way and comes back out on 21. That's all there is to it. A couple miles. Now there's two entrances to the park. If you're coming from the north, skip the first entrance and go to the second one. It's just before you get to the Dollar General store. So you see a Dollar General store, that's where you're turning right or into the park. But if you come this way, it's flat. There's only a couple of curves, and you're right here. If you come from the other way, it's very hilly, narrow, and winding. And it's a couple mile drive. Actually, if you're coming from the north on 21, there is a sign telling RVers to come down to the other entrance. And here's the entrance to the campground. There is only one entrance. You pull in and go down towards the left are all basic sites. Over to the right is the electric sites. Just inside the entrance here on the left are your dumpsters, recycling, and the dump station. There's the shower house and restrooms over here. They're pretty decent shape. They're not too bad. And back behind there's a playground. Let's take a run down to the basic sites and take a look. Not a whole lot of activity during the week. This is a Thursday, second week of July. Real shaded over here. There's gravel sites. That actually looks like a pull through. I've seen a pull through basic site.
Uh-uh.
We're spaced out a little bit. We got a little bit of privacy. And you got these tents. Showed up there or not. You can actually rent these tents. They're like little cabin tents. They're on platforms.
There's one down on this other end where I see it a little bit better.
Yeah. There's just see the green stripe on the post. That's Missouri's way of saying it's a basic site. Another pull through. That's kind of different. Very wooded, very shady. Back up in here right now, you have a place to yourself.
They have a pit toilet up here, or vault toilet, whatever you want to call it. They're usually pretty clean. We've used them before.
Yeah, but only an emergency. And it just makes a loop and goes right back out again. Kind of a tight space there, even for a tent, but you have a lot of privacy back here.
I don't know if you can see it on the video, but every table's got like a little tin can attached to it, and it's written on their small trash can. I thought that was kind of funny.
I've never seen that before. It's hooked on there with a chain. This time of year, you're not getting a whole lot of sunlight back up in here. But every spot's got a picnic table and a post to hang your lantern or whatever on it, and a fire pit.
Here, you can kind of see it. Pull in there a little bit so you can see the tent that you can rent.
There you go.
Got a little deck on it and stuff. No electricity, so probably in the fall or winter only for me.
I can imagine right now, maybe kind of warm inside. It's been in the mid 90s all week here. Sunny.
Sorry if I'm making you seasick.
If you see these posts, they have an R on them, white R on a red background. It means they are reservable. If they have a green tag above that says it's available or unoccupied, then if it's got a red tag on it, that means that it has been reserved. It'll have the dates written on the card.
And there's your tent camping.
Let's take a look over on the electric side.
There's your trash cans and your dump station there.
Now we got the campground host is the first spot here, and we haven't seen them yet since we've been here. These first 8 spots are all pull-throughs. They're not real level. Ours is just a little bit downhill. Got our tongue jack up as high as it'll go.
You can see the setup right there in front of us. That's us.
We're number 8, right on the end of the line as far as pull-throughs. These are paved, and then the patio area is gravel. And these are all back ends. That one there, I believe, yeah, it's a handicap spot, so even the picnic table area is all paved.
Got a group of tent campers down here this week and didn't hardly hear a peep from them. Every once in a while you could hear them laughing, but that was it.
Yeah, you got 5 or 6 tents down in here, and a hammock too. I'd like to have one of those. Most of these down here are pretty well shaded. Some of them are not real level. You can see. Now here's one pull-through right here out of all these back ends.
The only reason I don't like it is because your patio is like right in the weeds. Or not weeds, but trees. Coming up on the shower house and the bathrooms, which are really, really nice.
And back to this first loop where the pull-throughs are. We got another swing set over here next to the showers. Pull-throughs are plenty long enough, no matter what you're driving or pulling. And there you have it, back to where we started from. One thing I wanted to point out about these pull-through spots in between thunderstorms here, the electrical post is like right here next to the road. So depending upon how long your RV is, or how long your cord is, you might have trouble lining up with the patio area. This side here is about the worst. Ours was a little shorter, so I was able to get the door of the trailer lined up by the picnic table and just had enough cord to reach the electrical post. I don't know how long our cord is. 20 feet, 25 feet, something like that. Depending upon your situation, that might be something to consider. I know one of the trailers back behind me here, they're plugged in, but they're not lined up. Here we are here. This post is a little farther away from the road. You can see I got the cord as far as you want to go. And we were able to line up over here. Something to consider. One reason why I picked this spot, it's close to a water spigot here. And I'm sure I'm not the first guy who got the trailer all unhooked and set up and realized you didn't fill the water tank up before you did that. And our hose was about 20 feet short. So we had to run into town to Walmart and get another 50 feet of hose. And well, we got it for the next time I forget. Here's something you don't see at a lot of state parks. Swimming pool. It's a pretty nice pool. Good size. Looks like they have lifeguards when it's open. Not really sure what the hours are, but it looks like it's in use. Umbrellas and lounge chairs. Good place to hang out on these hot summer days. Kind of nice area up here on the bluffs. You can see for a long ways. You see the big river down there. A lot of people go down and play in the water. We'll be down there in a few minutes. There's a trail. I say it's blazed for two trails. It comes up along here. I hiked it a couple years ago. It's a little warm to do it today. It's a long trail, but it's real nice. Little shelter here, overlook. Of course, most of these things, buildings and things around the parks like this were all built by the CCC back in the 30s, I guess it was. That trail goes off that way. Take it down here, see if we can get a little more view. Listen to the birds. Nice little place you just want to stop and watch the world go by. This place is right next to the road, going up the hill from the store, the river, and everything down there. Parking lot, full in. Here's the Thunderbird Lodge. It's down here, what I call like the bottom of the park, right by the river over here. Nice little store. They got a bunch of little basic stuff in there. You can get your firewood and ice also. Go ahead and go inside and take a look. I can see why I call this the bottom of the park. Going up the hill to the left is the windy up and down way out of the park and in the park. And you look over to the right, and it's going uphill. That's going towards the campground and the other entrance to the park. Lots of ups and downs. That's why you want to come in the other direction. You're coming in with an RV. There's the trailhead for the Rockwood Trail. Straight up the hill up there. I think those are actually restrooms up there. I don't know if they're used for anything anymore. Little creek running underneath the lodge. And always, all these buildings are built by the CCC. A lot of the older Missouri State Parks were built by them. We'll drive on past the lodge area. Come down here to the big river. Little place to hang out. Not much of a beach, it's all gravel, but you just stay in the water, you stay cool. Back up in there somewhere where we was just a few minutes ago up on the bluff looking at things. As for the big river, it's not real big right here, but you can see from the hillside, as floods, it get pretty deep. Nice shady spot. Go there and have a picnic or something. We had a couple of restrooms here down by the river. Bunch of parking. We're going to go on down that road a little ways. We just discovered yesterday that there's a nice big picnic area down there. So take a look at that. Down here at the end of the road past the river is a big picnic area, a pavilion. It's full of school kids today, so we won't go down there, but nice big open area. You want to have a picnic or do something like that, family reunion or whatever. They got a nice set of bathrooms and showers down there. They got a vault toilet here, so I don't know if they just can use this in the wintertime when the water's shut off or what. Well, vault toilets go. I've seen worse. At least they painted it up so it don't look like you're in a cave or something. Let's go look at the nice ones over here. Here's the restrooms and the showers. Not too bad. We was there a couple years ago. It's all right now. It seems like they got a new coat of paint. We've got a decent hand dryer. Big old handicap stall if you need it. And we come around to the backside for the showers. Right. And it's pretty much standard state park shower. Ain't too bad. Park also has several cabins that you can rent in a couple different locations. We're up here on the hillside. I think there's some down near the other entrance, on the south entrance. You can get 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. They come with all your linens, that kind of thing, kitchen utensils. Says you got grills. There's a grill there. I don't know if that belongs there or not. There's several of them down through here. The Washington State Park also has some historical things going on here. They have petroglyphs. It's right up here near the entrance. You can actually hear Highway 21 right next to us. Yeah, you can read all about them here. All the rock carvings. They got them down here under cover, give them a little protection from the elements. I have never understood how people find these things. Things have been around for thousands of years or whatever. Kind of hard to see some of them. They fill up with water real easily. They tell you on the signs what everything is. Those are kind of easy to see. And that's it for the petroglyphs. So it's not just a place to camp and go play in the water. It's actually got a little historic value. And it's got a pretty decent sized parking lot out here, so lots of people can come in and take a look. That about wraps it up for Washington State Park. It was created back about 1932 when the land was donated to the state. And it, like a lot of the parks back in those days, is pretty much built by the Civilian Conservation Corps. And this one was kind of unique, I guess, because it was an African American Conservation Corps. I didn't know that. So, where are we at?
We are kind of between DeSoto and Potosi. Not sure what the name of the real town is, but you have DeSoto about 10 minutes away and Potosi about 11, 12 minutes away. Both of them have Walmarts, grocery stores, Dollar Generals,
fast food.
lots of fast foods. I'm more partial to Potosi because I lived there for a few years, and my sister and her family lived there. But both towns are nice to go into if you need groceries or just to get away and look around.
All right. So the park's got 48 camping spots, 22 basics, 24 electric. Then there's those two tent, what do they call them, platform tents or something like that you can rent out also. They range from $15 to $27 for, well, it's $15 basic, $27 for the electric. If you're over 65 or a member of the military, you get a $2 discount off of that.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And they got all the cabins we showed you. What did we say is 10?
Yeah, I think at least 10.
So I didn't get the price on those. I think it varies because there's like 3 different kinds of cabins. And what else? We got 3 trails through the park. Some of them are pretty rugged. I did the one a couple years ago, and it's pretty long. It's uphill. It goes down by the river. It starts by across the street from the lodge and makes a big circle of the whole park and ends up back behind the lodge. So.
And something that you just told me that I didn't know, and you didn't know, they have rock climbing here.
Yeah, I just found that out this morning. They got rock climbing and rappelling, which you have to have a permit, and there's all kinds of rules, of course, for doing that. Helmets and safety gear, and they also have some what do they call it? Backwoods camping, or you go down one of the hiking trails, have a place where if you want to take your tent with you, you can camp back out there in the woods somewhere too. Backwoods camping?
Backwoods camping?
Yeah, something like that.
And then if you're geocache and adventure lab enthusiasts like we are, Ken found, which I'm gonna let him talk about, a really cool adventure lab.
Yeah, up in DeSoto, there's just a couple of regular geocaches, and there was 3 or 4 adventure labs. There's one that's kind of neat down by the railroad tracks. It's a little park that is dedicated to the railroad workers, and the first train that came through DeSoto, which was like 1847 or something like that, I mean, way back when. So got a neat little adventure lab there, and there's a caboose and a statue and an old hand car, cool railroad stuff. So if you're into that, you go take a look at that. And speaking of DeSoto, we went looking for an ice cream shop, which Apple Maps says was there, and turns out they hadn't been there for a year. It's now a tattoo parlor, so...
We didn't get any, though.
No, we didn't get any tattoos or ice cream, so... Had to go to Dairy Queen. So, what else? Anything else?
I think that wraps it up. We gotta get packed up and...
Head on back home.
Yep.
Anything you want to know about the Missouri State Parks? Just go to www.mostateparks.com. Find out about all the state parks and historic sites, and if you want to make a reservation, you can do it off of there. So, that's it.
That's it. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Good night from Washington State Park.